Good afternoon, everyone. This is Suresh Kumar. How are you doing? How are you doing today? So, guys, let's give another couple of minutes. I know there are a lot of more participants expected. So, I'm going to be on mute for another 2 minutes, and then we can start our webinar. Hope that's okay with all of you. Okay, guys, I think it's time to start. Good morning. Oh, sorry, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Suresh Kumar Mani. I'm very happy to see you all through this virtual meeting, virtual webinar. I take this opportunity to thank all of you for taking some time to attend this webinar, and I want this session to be more interactive. I know the intention of this webinar is to give you guys more details about the course, about the opportunities, about the reasons why you should be considering the CPA as one of your professional courses to either go to the next level in your existing companies or to grow in your professional career, or for that matter, you may be just in the initial stages of your career and you want to just have an additional course to move to the next level in your life. So welcome back again, once again, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty sure this is going to be very interesting because I personally I've done CA, and I've also done my CPA. I've also done my diploma in IFRS from the UK, and I also have, of course, have a BCom graduation. I'm actually based out of Bangalore. I'm speaking to you guys from Bangalore. I've got more than 20 years of experience post my CA, and I've been working in major corporations. My current role is as one of the finance directors for the APAC region. So all excited to see again all of you, and let's start a session. But as I said, please let's make this session as interactive as possible, so that you guys can make use of the opportunity. And wherever I've got an answer, I definitely promise you to give it. If not, I'll ensure that the coordinators, the counselors, will reach out to you to give you the complete picture. By the way, I'm assuming my voice is clear. I know my settings clearly shows that the mic is moving. I mean, the bars are moving, which means I'm audible definitely. So can you please, one of you please say hello to me, says unmute and speak to me, so that I can just be I can confirm myself that the speakers are also working. Anyone? Yes, Taran the core. Why don't you unmute and say hello to me, Taran, if you can? I know you're raising your hand, so you would like to speak. You can do it. That's fine, sir. Okay. Chalo guys, let's begin. Hope you can see my screen. That's also a very important thing. Can anybody raise your hand and say that you can see the screen? Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm sharing the PDF, PPT of EduPristine. Just give me a second. It's hanging up. Yes. I'll put it on the complete. Yeah. The presentation mode, and hope we can see this now. Guys, as I said, CPA. I'm all excited because I myself have done my CPA, and I did this in the year 2006. Yeah, it was in 2006, 2007 is when I completed my CPA. I was living in the US, and that's when I got the opportunity to pursue this course and complete my 4 papers in the very first attempt. Of course, it was a good experience because living in the US and writing the exam was very easy for me those days. But now you see, many people will be having a mindset that, boss, to get the CPA degree, we have to travel all the way to the US. No, that is not the case. You can actually go to UAE also for writing exams. But the great news now is that the exam centers are open. It's available in India as well. You can give your exams in India. You can give the exams in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, Chennai, a lot of all the metropolitan cities. The CPA exams can be given. So that's a great news. So if you guys think that, taking CPA means you have to travel either to Dubai or to US to give the exam, that may not be the case. And as of now, there's been a lot of lobbying, and thanks to COVID, that the exam centers have been set up in Bangalore also, India also, and you can give your exams in India. So that's a great news, which means you don't have to really worry about the travel cost. Not only the travel cost, we should also worry about the jet lag and so on and so forth, right? So good news is that we don't have the travel. So I'm going to just introduce to this beautiful profession of CPA, and I want you guys to please stop me in case something is not clear and you want me to repeat anything. And guys, honestly, CPA is one of the most renowned and respected professions, and almost all the companies in the world have a link to the US. There are companies which are having at least an Indian company may have a subsidiary in the US, or most of the companies that you see in India is having is part and parcel of the US companies. So the way the companies are growing, the way the world GDP is growing, the companies are expanding. There is a huge demand of CPAs. They prefer CPAs naturally because they would like to have somebody who has the knowledge of all the US GAAP, the US tax rules, US regulations, so that maintaining books of accounts, taking care of compliances and things like that becomes easier. In fact, I have certain interesting data points which I think would interest you as well. According to this AICPA, and by the way, AICPA is nothing but the institute which manages the entire CPA program. 75% of today's CPAs will retire in the next 15 years. Boom. 75% of the CPAs that we have today are going to retire in the next 15 years. Another 1.5 decade, 15 years from now, 75% will retire. Wow, which means there's going to be a huge vacuum and opportunities available for folks who are going to take up this course. Okay, and of course, as we all know, CPA is a must degree for doing any kind of audit for the companies in the US. If they want any kind of certifications, any kind of filings and things like that, CPA is definitely a must for the companies to get the sign off. But of course, the skills in demand includes auditing is for sure. I want to put auditing on top because auditing is never evergreen. It's going to be one of the most demanded professions. Along with the audit, we also have business and financial analysis. We have risk and compliances, tax management, treasury management, management accountancy, financial management and internal controls, audits, so on and so forth. So guys, if you can, whatever profession that you can think of, whatever departments that you can think of, whatever degrees that you can, designation that you can think of, all those designations can be taken up and handled and covered by the CPA. So the skills that are in demand are primarily on the audit world, the internal audit, the risk and management areas, tax management, treasury management, and of course on the business and financial analysis, also known as business finance world. By the way, are there any individuals in the session who's actually working in any of the MNCs? Guys, as I said, please make this interactive. Otherwise, there will not be much fun in the session. I mean it. I always do the seminars, and I always enjoy seeing folks speaking. Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Ajay Luhar. Would you like to speak? Why don't you unmute yourself? I'm okay. Okay, guys. I'm going to allow everybody to unmute. I'm going to allow everybody to speak, and you can just unmute and speak to me.
Yeah, hi Suresh. It's Ajay here.
Hello, Ajay. How are you?
Yeah, fine. I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yes, Ajay. Tell me. You're working in an MNC today?
Yeah, actually, I'm working with Infosys.
Infosys, right? Wonderful.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
I was also in Infosys.
Oh,
I
that's
worked
nice.
in Infosys.
Okay. So actually, I'm planning to do my MBA. So I thought the US CPA would be better option if better than MBA. I thought so. That is my actually thinking. So I don't know what to do.
Where are you? Are you in Bangalore, Ajay?
Yeah, in Bangalore.
Bangalore Infosys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday I met you. You know Praveen Malya?
No, not sure.
Okay. He's also in Infosys and Business Finance. We all met after a long time. Yesterday evening we had a get together in MG Road on the Infosys launch. Infosys launch. So, anyways, the intention is not to talk about Infosys, but to talk about our CPA. So, Ajay, since you're working in Infosys kind of a company, and you are, I believe you're a CA or MBA?
Sorry?
You're an MBA or a CA?
No, I'm just a BCom.
Commerce graduate, is it? Lovely.
Yeah.
In fact, CPA is going to be very easy, guys. Honestly, in the sense, in fact, we're going to see those things also in the next few slides. You don't have to worry about writing, so many papers. You just have to remember to write only 4 papers. Just 4 papers, you're done, and you'll be called a CPA. And you don't have to know if you write all the 4 papers in one shot. You can take a break after writing 1 paper and take a couple of months, 6 months. You can take a break, write 1 more paper, take 2 more months break, and write 1 more paper. So 4 papers you can write at your leisure. But only catches you have to complete your exams within 18 months. That's all. Once you get your results for the first paper, within 18 months from the end of that day, you have to complete all the other 3 papers. Otherwise, you have to write the first paper again. That's all. So 18 months of time they give you for writing 4 papers and at your convenience. There are no different stages like CA or CWA that we have in India, where you got group 1, group 2, stage 1, stage 2, or intermediary, final, and things like that. No, there's only only 4 papers, and you're done. And you can call yourself a CPA. Okay. I see Shilpa Saini has unmuted. Would you like to speak, Shilpa? Would you like to share anything? Shilpa Saini? Okay. Abhijit Guha, I see you also unmuted. If you're not talking, can you go on mute? Abhijit Guha, you have anything to share? Fine. Okay, guys. So this is the kind of responsibilities, opportunities that you have once you become a CPA. Now, what are the benefits of CPA? Obviously, as I said, almost all the multinational companies today have a link to the US. So they would like to have somebody who has a knowledge of the US market, US regulations, US accounting standards, gap, things like that. Yes. In fact, most of the companies are also listed on NASDAQ or stock exchanges in the US, which also makes it very, very important for the companies to actually get a CPA who can sign off on the compliances. There are so many compliances that you have to take care every quarter, every half year, every year, and only a CPA can do this. And the other advantage is relatively short time to complete. I told you, right? You just have to worry about writing only 4 papers and can be completed in a short span of 18 in a span of 18 months. 1.5 years to write 4 papers is more than enough. In fact, I completed everything, all the 4 papers in just 8 months. And by the way, I was also working. When I was in Infosys, I was deputed to the US, and I was working and I completed. I was single, okay, which means I have to take care of all my household items also. I had to study on my own. Within 8 months, I completed all the 4 papers. Literally did it. I couldn't do it. And you have multiple opportunities, and there is a huge recognition across the globe. You don't have to live in the US. Once you complete CPA, doesn't mean that you will get a job only in the US. You can find a job everywhere. In India also there are opportunities. Australia, there are huge opportunities. UK, Dubai, you name it, you have huge opportunities. And people interested to go to Canada and settle down, when it's easy. When you have a US CPA, you can actually walk into the Canada and get jobs there. It's easy. Now, I'm just going to share a few slides to show you. Yes, Prachi, you have a question?
Yes, I want to ask what will be the job profiles?
I'm coming to that. Right question, right time. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the scripts, some of the snapshots of the opportunities that were available in India from some of the major brands. Like you see, Barclays, they were looking for a VP financial controller. And if you see the technical qualification that was needed, they wanted a chartered accountant or a CPA or ACCA from the UK. Right? That's a minimum. They want a CA, of course, or a CPA. Wow, that's a great advantage, right? Because you're a CPA, you will get an opportunity to work as a VP financial controller. And it's not a joke, man. Being a VP finance controller, it's not a joke. It takes a lot of efforts to go to that level. And one of the prerequisites was CPA. And job profile, the job JDUC, experience in month-end closing, experiences in terms of IFRS, budgeting controls, balance sheet controls, ability to manage and lead the teams and things like that. If you see McAfee, senior accountant, yes, you see there is a requirement even for the junior level, at the beginners levels. They were looking for a individuals with a CA or CPA or CIMA degree. So they're saying one of these. CMA was even accepted there. And of course, when you are a junior guy, you are expected to handle things like, certain book entries, maintaining the book closures, month-end closures, and things like that. KPMG, for example, was having an opening. I'm just trying to scroll through these things just to show that companies that we know, that we've heard, are also looking for these kind of profiles. See, Amazon, Core Energy, senior manager role, wanted a CPA. Look at the other requirement in UAE, internal audit manager. Al Marwan Group Holdings wanted a CA or a CPA or master's in CIA, minimum 5 years experience, fluency in English and Arabic, ability to solve problems, critical and analytical thinking. See? And I'm just going to show you the prerequisites to become and one of the other companies had an opening as well in Dubai. NTS Group, they had an opening for a CPA. Yes, Prachi, you any further questions on this?
No, I got it.
Yes, lovely. So look at this, guys. I'm looking at the list of US CPA demand snapshot, which means this is a snapshot which has been pulled out from one of the job sites. And if you see the odd job positions and the profile that is in demand, the profession that is in demand. See the kind of profession that is in demand. Certifications. CPA is on top, then the MBA, then CFA, then you got the CIA, CMA, CAS, and things like that. But on top is CPA. And naturally, guys, even in India, if you see, CA is in demand, naturally, because Indian government want chartered accountants for managing their filings, companies' filings, compliance, and things like that. Naturally, CAs also in the US, CPAs in the US will be on demand. That's very natural. And CPAs are recognized because they are the only body, only authoritative profession which can sign the balance sheet. No other profession can do it. Only they can sign. They can certify certain things. That's the reason why it's one of the most respected professions. And see the kind of positions that's available. Commercial leader, controller, financial analyst, payroll manager, staff accountant, senior accountant, compliance officers, accounting managers, so on and so forth. Right? So job-wise, I bet there will not be any problems. And there's again another snapshot from the newspapers to show how much of demand you guys have for CPAs in the world. Now, we know that there is a demand. All of us have agreed, right? There's no meaning in talking about the demand now. Definitely, we all know there is a huge demand for CPAs. Now, let's focus on the exam details, how to become a CPA. But before I go there, anybody has any questions? Apurva, Tarandi, Shilpa, You guys have any doubts? Anything that you want me to repeat? Anything that you want me to repeat? Explain? Yes, Mr. Singh. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question. Sir, I have completed my CA in the last month, and since you would know that there is a training of 3 years in the CA as well. Sir, I wanted to know that there is some training as well in CPA or not? Under any CPA?
Okay. For CPAs, no, there's no such requirement. Like articleship that we have in India, no,
Yes, sir.
we
Yeah.
don't have. No, we don't have anything of that sort. No training. However, you won't get a license unless you can show that you have some experience. So your training that
Okay.
you're doing under the
Okay.
CA will help you in getting the CPA license also, because they will help you to understand. Once you become a CPA, you cannot just go and say, I'm a CPA now, open my shop, open my services. No,
Okay.
they will expect that you have some amount of experience before you can be given that license. But you will get the qualification CPA. But
Okay.
you have to wait for 1 or 2 years, work as an accountant, and then get the license. That's all.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you
Good
so
question,
much.
sir. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Abhijit. Yes, you can unmute yourself and speak. Abhijit Guha, you have raised your hand. Can you please unmute yourself, please? Abhijit, you have raised your hand. Abhijit Guha, you have a question? Yes. Go ahead. Sorry, sir, we are not able to hear you. I'm unable to hear you at all, sir. I know you've kept yourself unmuted, but I'm not able to hear you. Sorry, sir. We'll have to move on. But you can type your question, okay? Yes. Priyanka, you had something. You know what it is?
Hi, sir. Priyanka here.
Yes, Priyanka, you added something to the group. What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was just trying to post my question, but it was showing up some link there. So
That's
actually, I have a question in regards to, okay, currently I am from, not exactly from the commerce background, but I'm currently working in a firm where we do an auditing, and it's basically on the US accounting front.
Oh, great.
And yes, but I've been promoted to a position where I'm asked to get into this course of CPA, but I don't know, I have a strong feeling that I should have a BCom background to pursue this. Is that correct?
You know, what is your qualification, Priyanka? You're from Bangalore by any chance?
No, I'm from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay, Bagunara?
Yes. Sorry?
Bagunara?
Yeah, no, but my mother tongue is not Telugu.
Oh,
I
what do
do
you speak?
understand. I'm actually from MP, but settled in Hyderabad. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
my
but
mother tongue is Hindi. Well, I can speak Telugu.
Yeah, you're speaking good Telugu, madam. But my mother tongue is also not Telugu. Anyways.
Okay, great.
What is your qualification, Priyanka? What is your basic qualification?
Basically, I hold a bachelor's degree in electronics computers, and I've done my MBA in HR, and I've done my green belt in Six Sigma certification. But
That's all the
currently,
process related. Okay.
yeah, but it's all my job requirement.
So is
So
it okay for you to type your company's name privately to me to find out what exactly they would be looking for? Okay. In the meantime, is it D Shah, somebody like that? You can type your answer to looking privately. Okay, to answer your question, Priyanka, it's a great question, honestly. I won't say it's going to be easy for sure, but I don't want to scare you by saying it's difficult to clear. I mean, impossible to clear.
Okay.
I meant impossible to clear. In fact, a lot of things can be understood, can be applied, but there will definitely be some difficulties you will come across when it comes to accountancy. There will be definitely some challenges when you're doing accountancy, because it is based on some basic knowledge of the accounting. If you are done BCom, no, it will be much easier for you to follow certain concepts. However, this is going to be, excuse me. However, this is going to be very easy, because the material that we are going to have for preparing the students for the exams are going to be so good that it'll be easy for anybody to clear. In fact, I always do this. And in fact, I also do sessions, guys. I'm one of the faculties for EduPristine. And what I do, what I always tell my students is, guys, remember our school days when we were in first standard, LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard. What used to happen? Madam used to, our school teacher used to take all our 9 months or 8 months. She should teach everything, and just 15 days, 20 days before the final exams, she should give us some 30 marks of 30 questions. You all remember, Priyanka? And what is to happen? We ought to just prepare those 30 questions and go and write the exams. Only questions will come from those 30 questions, right? Revision questions. That's exactly what Becker does. We'll talk about that in some time. The profession, the course has been designed in such a way that you don't have to know everything about the accountancy, everything about the regulation, everything about the rules and regulations or business and things like that. But you will have to know things that is relevant for your real jobs, real course. So the way they've done it is they've condensed the material, and the material has been condensed such a way that they've also explained each and every concept in such a detail that it will be easy for anybody to even understand and clear. In fact, I know many of my students who are doing CA finding difficult to do CA. They couldn't do. After they were struggling to complete the auditing paper, accounting paper. But after doing CPA, they were able to go back and complete the CA because they found that concepts are very clearly explained in CPA. See, I'm talking about chartered accountant students who tried to complete CA, couldn't do it, but after completing CPA, went back and did CA. It's a very rare situation, but it happens. That what I'm trying to emphasize is, Priyanka, it is possible. It is definitely possible. Sorry, Ma, I've not heard of this company, but yes, I think I'm sure it'll help you a large extent. It will be a complete diversion from your basic degree, but you know what? You'll be making right investment, and you will fly. You will definitely start flying after this profession, and I mean it. Priyanka.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dad. Okay, Abhijit sir, I'm seeing your question. I'm CPA would make. If you're in practice, Mr. Abhijit, it's going to be. It all depends on what is your intention of doing the CPA. Are you trying to attract more of your customers who are based out of the US? Because if you're a practicing chartered accountant in India, your opportunities in India will be only for GSTs or income tax compliances or maybe bookkeeping, services that you can offer to the guys in the US. Other than that, you may look at, helping those companies or the individuals in the US to file their returns in India. Because I don't know where are you from, but a lot of companies in Hyderabad, for example, or Andhra Pradesh, they have a lot of back office services where they need people like you with experience to manage their US tax return filing services. So that's one area where you can think of, Mr. Abhijit. And of course, there are a lot of virtual CFOs where the people with CPA experience can always be considered. Hope that answered your question, Mr. Abhijit. Nice question, sir. Very interesting one. What about others? I see some new joiners. Okay, I'm going to give the opportunity to everybody to unmute. So you guys can just, okay, I have given the opportunity, unmuted or given the permission to mute and unmute yourself. So I see Ajay, Luhar, Kapil A, and Abhijit unmuting yourself. Can one of you please tell me if you have any questions?
Yeah, hi Suresh, Ajay here.
Yes, Ajay.
After completing the 4 papers, do we need to gain 1 year of experience for the CPA license?
It all depends on how many years experience you already have, Ajay. So just it's all very specific, very subjective questions. So I would say as long as you've done your 4 papers, and if you can, there's one more paper by the way. 4 papers is to get the CPA, exam clearings. Once you have done that, you need to get a license from the particular state, whichever state that you want to take. It could be Colorado, it could be Texas, California, New York, Illinois, whichever state that you're enrolling. There you have to write an ethics exam. Ethics exam is just to show that you are aware of the ethical practices of that particular state. Okay, and then you are eligible to get a license.
Okay, so usually you said within 8 months you have completed. So usually how much time it will take to get the license once you've done the 4 paper?
Within a month's time, if you are interested, if you can clear the exam.
So you say that within the year we can get the license?
Yeah.
Sure.
You're from which place, Ajay?
Bangalore.
Where are you working?
Infosys.
Okay, the same gentleman, is it? Okay, same person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Chalo guys, we'll start with the next topic, which is about the course and license. So what do you exactly, okay, some more questions coming in. Huh? I don't have max background in my 12th standard, so it will be okay, especially for BCs. Oh, Mr. Kapil. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Kapil? We can talk about it. It's a great question. Great question, Mr. Kapil. I mean it. Can you unmute yourself, Kapil? Can you talk? Yes, Mr. Singh, it does. Okay. The question from Mr. Kapil was, do we need to really have max background to complete this? There is a misconception, guys. Honestly, there's always a misconception that people who are smart in max are the one who can do CA. First of all, that is a misconception. There's nothing to do with that knowledge of max with CA. Whatever you are going to learn and do in your CA or CPA has got nothing to do with max. Of course, you need to have some analytical skills. You need to have the skills to understand the situation and apply those numbers. What numbers we use? Only 4 things: addition, subtraction, multiplications, and divisions. Other than that 4, we don't use trigonometry. We don't use integers. We don't use any of those mathematics. Okay. So, Mr. Kapil, don't ever think that you need to be very strong. You should have a max background to do this. Absolutely not. It's completely irrelevant, and you don't have to worry about that. Not only you. Okay. People think that to be a CA you need to be good at max. No way. That's nothing to do with CA. The max. You need to have good analytical skills. You need to have some good way of interpreting things. Analytical skills and interpretation skills helps you to understand how a problems, how a formula, how a situation can be solved. Interpretation skills helps you to understand how the law can be read, understood, and applied. Okay. Okay, I'm going to the next slide now. Guys, to become a CPA, you need to have, of course, the experience, the examination needs to cover, and of course, for that, you need to have the basic qualifications. So the education requirements, how can you apply for the exams? First, remember, the rules are going to be unique and different for different states. There are 50 states, but of course, there are many additional states also, which does these exams. So every state has its own set of rules. Some states recognize chartered accountants. Some states doesn't recognize chartered accountants. Some states recognize CA intermediate also, but some doesn't. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that the rules that we are going to see is something very common, not very unique. So unique things will depend on the state that you're going to choose. And if you ask me which state you are to choose, it will be difficult for me to answer. Depends on every individual's situations. If you look at this, general rule is 5 years of college education will help you. 150 credit hours. That's a basic qualification. That's the reason why you need to have at least MCOM, MBAs. Sometimes even a bachelor degree helps if you can show that it was integrated courses and things like that. Some few states allow even 120 hours, which means just with the BCom you can do it. Even with just BCom, you'll be able to do this. Oh my God, I'm seeing questions. No mic, thank you, sir. Okay, I don't have max. Okay, I'm a BCom graduate and CA finance student. I'm still confused regarding investing more time of this course also. So, can you please differentiate a little bit about how it is different from CA, and can you please tell something about this curriculum of this program? We'll talk about the curriculum in some time, anonymous attendee. But yes, I will explain to you the benefits of CA and CPA. Yeah, but everything is CA and CPA has its own pros and cons here. The best thing, by the way, I'm both. I'm a chartered accountant and a CPA. I'm a CA because I started that as my first profession in India. I did CPA because I had an opportunity to go to the US and got enrolled and did that course. The major difference is CPA is just 4 papers, while CA is you have 4 groups, excluding foundation. Okay, you have 4 groups to clear. If you fail in one paper in one group, you write the other papers in the group, right? But in CPA, there's nothing like that. You fail, for example, somebody writes auditing paper, unable to clear the exams. So what? It's okay. They have to just write one more time auditing paper or two more times auditing paper. They don't have to write finance paper or business or regulations again and again. They just have to write the paper they have not cleared. That's it. They don't have to go and write the other papers all together. They just have to write the paper which they failed. Let's assume some. In fact, I know a case of one of my friends. He wrote all four papers together. He came from India. When I was in the US, he came from India to try give his CPA exams and went back to India after exams. He cleared all the three papers except auditing, where he got 74. 75 is the minimum marks that you have to get. So this guy had to go back again to write only auditing paper, not the other papers. Okay, guys, he just had to write that paper. Which paper? Just the auditing paper. He doesn't have to write the other three papers. So that's the biggest advantage. Okay, it helps you. Yes, Mr. Sahaj Beer Singh, you're eligible. You're eligible with your whatever you mentioned. You're eligible. Okay, guys. So look at this eligibility, guys. You need to have at least 150 degrees of credit and 120. Some states allow even 120 or less. Which are the courses? Which are the states where BCom is accepted? California, Tennessee, and Virginia. Wow, California, man, that's a Silicon City. So I mean, see, Silicon Valley is in California, right? San Francisco is in California, right? So California state allows you. If you have just BCom, don't worry, you are still eligible. You're still eligible. Okay, it depends. Okay, if I did my CPA from Colorado State Board of Accountants, I'll tell you why I did that. In fact, I'll cover that when we talk about this NTS, Notice to Schedule. Then look at some of the courses that's allowed. BCom plus MCom or BCom plus MBA, Alaska allows you. BCom plus CA or ICAA, California allows you. Alaska allows you. CA is not participant in the administration program. Candidates who sit for the exam in CPA will choose Alaska, which means there are some do's and don'ts. Okay, there are very complicated setups, but don't worry. If you've decided to do CPA, talk to our counselors, because everything is unique. Every individual situation is unique, and that needs to be customized. Wait. Look at this. I just want you to look at this. This is the number of states that we have in the US, and every state has its own program. There are about 55 jurisdictions, and every state has its own programs. If you are interested to learn more about it, take this website link, go to becker.com/state, and then you click there. You'll get your customized situations can be handled there. You'll get more details about it. Okay, I'm seeing more questions coming in. No, okay, guys, if you have any questions, unmute and speak to me. Yeah. Okay, this is the most important thing. I know everybody's looking for this. Once you have set yourself for the CPA program, you have to see whether you are eligible for this. Once you are ready and eligible for this, you have to then make an application to the respective state. Whichever state that you choose, it could be California, it could be Texas, it could be Illinois or New York, okay, Nevada, whatever. You choose that state, submit your application and pay the fees for exams, and you will then get a NTS. NTS stands for Notice to Schedule. Notice to Schedule. There's a process. Once you have enrolled, you need to pay a fees for sitting in the exam. That is exam fees, plus you have to pay a processing fees. So this NTS is given by that particular state board, and this NTS tells you within how many months you should write a paper. Which means I apply today. For example, I'm in the month of March. So I want to apply for my exams, and they'll give me a time. The timeline will be from the day of the letter to 6 months. Some will give 3 months. It depends on every state. Now I'm going to explain why I chose Colorado. Colorado State was giving, I was living in Texas, but I wrote the exams in Colorado because Colorado was recognizing CAs, and more importantly, it was giving us 6 months of time to complete your exam, which means once I applied for, say, auditing paper, from the time they give me the permission, they give me 6 months time to give any month my auditing paper. Then I have to apply again for business paper, for example. Then from the time they give the approval, I get 6 months time to write my business paper. Then they give me a time for, I apply again for FAR, I get 6 months. Why I'm talking about the 6 months is, it gives me more room. It gave me more room to prepare. For some reason, if I'm not able to write the exam within the next 2 months, 3 months, I lose the opportunity. Then I have to pay the fees, exam fees again. I have to pay for the process fees again. So I go with the mindset that let me apply to only those states where I'll have additional time to take care of my preparations and my contingencies. So guys, this also plays an important role. But this is not the only item.
Okay. Okay. Rinja? Okay.
So wait,
I'm coming down.
Please, if you're not talking, please go on mute. Yeah. So guys, so once the NTS is done, you prepare your plans of preparing for the exams and then give your exams. And once your exams are done, then you go and get your degree. Yes, somebody raised your hand. Was it Priyanka again?
Sorry, that was my mistake. Sorry.
No problem, Priyanka. No problem. Feel free to unmute and speak that. You don't have to raise your hand and all that. You can just talk. Okay, guys, this is the steps. This is the way you can become a CPA. One, of course, to get your reviews done. You need to choose the state where you're going to be eligible, where they will consider you as fit for this role, fit for this area. Okay. Once that is done, you are then going to be applying for the exams. But in fact, I would say, once you do it, you prepare for the exams, then apply for all these things, because these two will go hand in hand actually. Once you're done with the preparations, you have to go and choose the date in the promontory. It's all computer based. It's not paper pencil exams. It's a computer based. You need to be, if anybody is very good in typing, guys, keyboard skill is one of the most important things that help you also. If you're smart in handling the keyboard, computers, and type things fast, it will be a biggest advantage for you to write the exams quickly and have some additional time for review and things like that. So somebody was asking about the papers, right? Look at the papers. We have 4 papers. We've got auditing, business, environment and concepts, FAR, that is financial accounting and reporting, and finally we have regulations. So I'll go from the top. Auditing and attestation is all about auditing. It talks about auditing under SOX, under PCOB, under SEC, internal audit. It talks about the planning, audit sampling. It talks about substantive testing, audit procedures, auditor's opinion, so on and so forth. It talks completely about audit. And remember, guys, this is more than enough for if anybody is planning to give the CA, read the auditing papers or concepts that's given in Becca. That will help you to clear your exams of CA in a much simpler and easier manner. Next, BEC, which stands for Business Environment and Concepts, BEC. BEC is all about business. What are the different structures you have? LLPs, LLCs, partnership firms, S corporations, C corporations. Plus, there are economic concepts. Plus, there are cost accounting. In fact, the most easiest paper is business. I've seen, not only me, every student that I meet, they all say business is the most easiest paper. But remember, because it is the easiest paper, most of the people take the paper for granted, and many people fail also. But pass percentage is very high in this also, okay? Business, because most easiest paper, the very, very simplest paper is business. It's very, very easy. You don't have to really remember the concepts and all. You just have to understand and move on. It's very easy. Then comes FAR, the most interesting paper. That here you learn not only US GAAP but also IFRS. The best part of this exam is it was not there when I was writing my exams. We were just focusing on US GAAP, but the courses that we have today is covering both the US GAAP and IFRS. Why? Because US is also planning to move towards IFRS, but when they do it, nobody knows. But they might do it. Whenever they do it, which they want the students to be ready, the CPS to be ready. So the course has been now changed, where they include not only US GAAP but also IFRS. But that doesn't mean that you want to study only IFRS first, then the US GAAP. No. For every concept, for example, inventory, one of the examples that comes to mind is inventory valuations. LIFO method is not allowed under any Indian GAAP or any GAAP, but US GAAP allows LIFO method of account inventory. But IFRS says no, I don't allow this. That's what they explain to you, where it is allowed, where it is not allowed. Wherever it is new, they explain the concepts in more detail. For example, fixed assets valuations. Revaluation method is allowed in IFRS but not allowed in US GAAP. I'm just giving you some examples. And what happens is the material there itself will say this method is not applicable US GAAP. This method applies only for IFRS. It's beautifully done, man. I swear, you will not get a material like this. I was a student of Becker. I feel proud to say that because I completed my course in the first attempt because of Becker. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Who's this anonymous attendee? Can you please unmute and speak to me, please? I'm not able to understand your question. That's the reason I want you to unmute. I didn't understand your question. Can you please retype or unmute and speak to me, please? The next subject that we are going to have is regulations. It's about income tax. And oh my God, you're going to learn so many things. Don't worry. You won't learn many things. You will learn just the one that is relevant. The income tax from the individual's point of view, income tax from the company's point of view, partnership point of view, trust point of view, and a couple of regulations like laws, which about the the relevant business laws that is applicable. Very simple. So if I have to rate in terms of which one is easy, which one is from tough to the less toughness is based on auditing is the most toughest one. Financial papers the next toughest one. Then this third one, this is the easiest one. So most of the people I've seen, they try to do this combination. They do try to do these two together, or this and this together, this and this together. But if you ask me, whatever combination that you want to choose, you can choose it because nothing is related. And don't think that, by auditing and regulation will go hand in hand. Nothing of that sort. It's all your mindset. Whatever paper that you think is comfortable, just prepare and go for it. Okay, if you talk, okay, other thing that I want to tell you is the testlets, the type of questions. You're going to have 72 multiple choice questions. That is, Kaun Banega Crorepati type of questions. Then you will have PPC, that is simulations. Simulations means they'll give a situation, you just have to fill in the blanks. And the answers are available there also, you just have to choose the answer and drop it. That's it. I've not seen such an easy exam here. I mean it. At least in business and all, you see there is a written communication where you have to check your communication skills. But otherwise, it's all TBS. The TBS means simulations. You just have to understand the situation and they'll give you a drop down. There'll be some, say, 5 drop downs. In that, you have to choose one right answer and drop it there. Very easy, very easy. Okay, then, regarding the skills, you need to have application skills, analytical skills, remembering and understanding is also to some extent because of the, accounting standards and the, regulations and things like that. But otherwise, you see this question types. Remembering and understanding for auditing is 30 to 40%. Business is just 15 to 25%. FAR is just 10 to 20%. Regulations is more, obviously. Application, you see, more in FAR and business. FAR and business, while regulation is lesser and application for auditing is lesser. Analytical skills is more in FAR and regulations, while business is about 20-25% and 15 to 25% for analysis. And evaluation is the only thing that is covered in auditing because you have to evaluate a situation that is covered in your auditing. Okay, this is all not relevant. I think you have to look at this. Exam timelines. I told you, right? You have 18 months to complete your 4 papers. Which means, if you see, once you have applied in the month of June, for example, you are given the permission sometime in the middle of August. So from this time, you have to complete your exams. Typically, NTS is given for 6 months. Some states give only for 3 months. So you have to be mindful that choosing the right state in terms of NTS is also important. Generally, they give you 6 months. Let's assume you got the permission in the month of beginning of July and you're giving exam in the middle of August and you clear the exams. Upon clearing your first paper, whether it's auditing paper or business or regulation or FAR, whichever paper that you choose, once you complete that paper, from there, you have 18 months to complete the rest of the 3 papers. That's it. And don't worry, assuming in one of the 3 papers, the student fails in one paper. So what? He still has 18 months time to clear the exam. He can write the exam again, but he has to pay the fees, the exam fees. That's all. Otherwise, you're done. So 18 months, you can clear the 4 papers. Of course, 18 months is from the time of clearing your first paper. But if I was you, I would say about from here till the end, not more than 8 to 10 months. But 10 months, you should complete all your 4 papers. and go further and close your history of become or plan of becoming a CPA. In fact, you're still in the line. If you're writing, if you're enrolling now, for example, by next March 2022, done and dusted, you'll be a CPA. Wow, just 1 year from now, you'll be a CPA. I mean it. You'll be a CPA within 12 months period from now. You don't have to think of doing articleship. I have to do this, have to do this, have to do this. No, just 12 months and you're done. So this is just to tell you, when the exams will happen, when the results will be announced. I don't think that's relevant. But if you are taking any exams, the target release date of the scores is given. That is also not relevant. It's okay. But what is important is just to look at this break rule, which means when you are writing your exams, they will not give you any breaks. In fact, I told you, right? There are booklets or there are sections like multiple choice questions and simulations, isn't it? So if you see, generally what happens is the papers are for 4 hours. And in the 4 hours, they'll have first 2 booklets. They'll have first book, only after you complete this MCQs, this will open. Say there are 15 questions in this. Unless you complete the 15 questions or you feel that you can't handle any of the questions and close it, this will not open. Once you close it, you cannot open this one. Then only this will be live. And once you complete it, after you close it, this will open, then this will open, then this will open. You have to complete each tab before you go to the next one. Now, when it comes to the taking break, there is a standard break set between the 3rd booklet and the 4th one, which means you don't have to choose to take a break. But if you want to take a break between the first booklet and second testlet, the time will continue to run. They will not stop the clock for you. The time will continue to run. You will have to come back quickly. It happens. You have to plan your washroom, how to use your toilet. That also should be planned. Sometimes you're in a hurry, in a cold place. You have to just go to the washroom and come. 2 minutes gone, 3 minutes gone. Time management is very important in this because sometimes questions has to be planned really well. Some questions will be so tricky, you'll have an answer, but tension, right? You might make the mistake. For example, I made a stupid mistake. Gross profit ratio, we all know it is gross profit divided by sales into 100. But my mind was only saying sales divided by gross profit divided by sales divided by gross profit divided by 100. And I lost 1 mark because of that tension. A simple question, right? But still, I couldn't handle it. So guys, this is just to tell you that you will have a break, optional breaks in between you can take in between once you complete this, but it is mandatory to take after the first booklet, which was not the case before. This is just to give you a small example of how the simulations will look. See, there will be a situation like this, and they'll give you the answer, and they'll ask you to choose the right answer. That's all. And they'll give you one more situation like this. They'll ask you to fill in the blanks. Is it difficult here to tell me? I really wish our CA's institute goes with this mindset. They give you the situation. They'll tell you, please choose the accounting standard that is applicable. You can search also. You don't know, don't worry. Click on this. There'll be a search option. Search for it. You can choose and put the answer there. I mean it. Everything is available. It's open book exam actually to a large extent. Except the MCQs, it's open type questions. You can choose. You can search for the answers, then copy paste the answer. But you need to know how to search for it and use the time effectively. Yes, madam. Go ahead. You have a question. Priyanka, you have raised your hand. Okay, you can unmute later if you want. And guys, look at this screen. This is the most important screen. Why? Because it has the pass percentage. You see, the pass percentage on average is 55% for auditing. Business is 68%. FAR is 53%. Regulation is 64%. I told you, right? Business is very easy. See, 68% of the people pass, which means first attempt you take, there is a chance that somebody will clear it is very high, man. You see, it's all more than 50%. Unlike our CA course, unlike our professional courses in India, the pass percentages are, oh my God, 55, 60%, 70%. It's pretty high. So this is just to tell you that the chances of you clearing the CPA exam is huge, very high. You don't have to think that you'll fail. No way. The why I'll say it's no way is because the material that you're going to get. Becker, I told you, right? I was a student of Becker. I didn't know that I'll be doing sessions when I was doing my CA about CPA when I was in the US in 2006. I wrote. It's been almost 15 years. I never knew that I'll be doing sessions after 10 years with in Bangalore with EduPristine. I completed then. I did not. After some 10 years, I was interested and just got this. And see, Becker is amazing. They are the market leaders in this. You have to check the videos. The best part of Becker is you will get the physical books, plus you will get the online ebooks, plus you will also have videos to explain each and every concept, recorded videos. You will also have an option to attend the classes physically and get your questions clarified. You will have so many multiple choice questions, guys. There's no way you're going to fail, man. I bet. Once you have mastered, you complete all the multiple choice questions, you are through, you will definitely be able to complete your exams. Okay, they've given you the timetables, it'll help you. This is just a screenshot of the Becker system. You'll have courses, you'll have how you're progressing, what is the, you want to start a lecture, start it. You have 15 minutes lecture on this topic. See, these are topics. Then you can start practicing. Then you've got 40 questions or multiple choice questions that you can practice. Once you're practiced, you're comfortable and go to the next topic. And this is just a snapshot of the video, how the revenue recognition is explained. For example, this is just an example of how a particular item is explained. And these things are going to be recorded. It's available for all the students, because of the registration and, they're as part of the package. See, this is just an example of how the multiple choice question comes. How the multiple choice questions. Once you are chosen, they'll give you an explanation as to why the answer that you selected is right or wrong. Right? And this is how the mock question paper is also set. They give you a choice how to prepare. These are the examples. They give you online, calculators. So don't worry about all that. What is relevant is, guys, Becker is definitely one of the preferred service providers that you should consider, given that they have the experience, they have the knowledge, and they have the ability of hand-holding the students. You've got so many, experienced faculties. They will be able to handhold all of the students. They are available over the phones, WhatsApp, and they can always help the students in being successful. There are a lot of counseling that happens. You guys get into any kind of registration issues with the institute, with the US CPA or state board, you can always talk to EduPristine employees and they'll be able to help you on that as well. Okay, I'm just trying to show you that, these are the things that's available. But what more important thing is, at the end of the day, I don't want anything, I just want you to remember that, guys, it makes a lot of difference if you take CPA, and you will be very successful if you can, invest this time in completing this course, doing this course. Now I'm going to be opening up this program, this webinar for questions. Guys, go ahead and ask the question that you may have. Okay, I'm seeing a question. Any Becker's foundation book for all 4 subjects? If no, then what to do? I didn't understand the question, Kapil. You're saying any Becker foundation book for all 4 papers or 4 subjects? Yes, you will get a material, man. You will be getting a material to prepare for the exams. Okay, the average cost of CPA, I don't know, man. I think it varies. I think it is around 1.5 to 2, around 2.5 lakhs. Yes, Praksa Master. You raise your hand.
Yes, I completed my BCom and also completed my IPCC, CA IPCC. Can I eligible for CPA?
Okay, these are very personalized question. Yeah, I don't want to say yes and no.
Yes, actually I joined later, so that's why.
No problem, man, no problem. That's what I'm just putting my caveat and before I answer this. That's all. See, thing is, generally, as long as you have 150 hours of, course, 150 credit in your, in terms of BCom and the course that you've done, it's eligible. So I'm not sure if IPCC is included, but if CA Inter you've done, yes, that's eligible. I don't think IPCC what is CA Inter, right?
Yes.
Then okay, you're eligible. I'm sorry, I am a chartered accountant from the oldest batch. Okay, so 20 years back. So it's I don't keep track of IPCC and all that. Then you're eligible. And very much eligible. Very much. Okay. Good, Preksa. Any other questions, people? Guys, use this opportunity. Ask questions. Unless you ask questions, what? There's no right and wrong question. Don't feel shy if you think, oh, this question, I'm not sure that I can ask this question. You are going to choose whether you are going to do the exam or not. It's not your friends, not the people that is there in the call. So you need to be convinced that this course is right for you. So you please go ahead and ask the question. What is the fee structure of class and exams? I think I told you this, man. It's about 2.5 lakhs in total, including exam fees and all that. But I'm not too sure about the fees that's been charged by EduPristine for the courses and things like that. You can always talk to the EduPristine folks. They'll help you on the exam fees or the structure fees, the course fees and all that. But the overall cost will be around 2 to 2.5 lakhs on average. Any other questions, people?
Hi, sir. Taran here.
Yes, Tarandeep. How are you?
Sir, I'm doing the job since I've cleared my BCom. Does that experience count in CPA?
Yes, ma, it does. It does.
Okay, so sir, is there any percentage eligibility criteria to qualify for CPA? Like I have BCom.
75 marks.
Okay.
You mean criteria to pursue? No. You as long as you complete, as long as you have the BCom degree, minimum degree, that's enough. No minimum marks and all that. No. 75 marks is what you should get to clear the exams.
It counts now that I have my BCom and experience of 2 years of working in a firm or some any company. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Suresh, hi, Saloni here.
Yes, Saloni.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the future scope for the finance or investment industry. Is there any future scope for entering the investment industry?
Madam, what?
Hello?
Your voice is actually breaking up. I'm not clear.
Oh, okay. Now am I audible?
Yes, but you know what? You mind keeping your mic away from your mouth? A lot of because of that. Yeah.
Okay. Now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I am asking that is there any future scope of entering the investment industry?
Oh, yeah. In fact, a lot of companies that we know in India are looking for chartered CPAs and chartered accountants in the investment banking field as well. Yes.
So what kind of portfolio can I expect as in after completing my CPA? What kind of
I believe you joined late. We had a slide where we showed the list of profiles that could be considered. It revolves around anything on the finance world, Saloni. There's no limitation. You can be an auditor, you can be a finance controller, you can be a CFO, you can be a finance manager, a treasury manager, tax consultant, internal auditor.
No, you're getting me wrong. What I want to know is that is there any chance, like if I see CPA doesn't give us a detailed analysis about the investment market, the subjects are not revolving around those criteria, right? So that's what I wanted to know. Like, does it help in any way if you want to get into finance analysis or investment analysis or something?
You will, because the subjects, you may not be really trained per se on that particular topic, but the amount of knowledge that you get in BEC, it's about the financial analysis. In fact, there are a lot of ratio analysis and financial analysis. Those things will be the foundation. In fact, even if you complete a CA, nobody's going to assume that you are the right fit for this, or rather you are going to take up this course job from day one. You will be trained. You will have to be trained, right? The point is, training a chartered accountant, a CPA is much easier than training a non-CA or CPA.
Right.
Why? Because a simple reason that those guys are tuned to the mindset of how these things should be read, how these things should be understood, right? So that is the beauty, and this is what will happen. That's the reason why when these institutions look for CAs and CPAs, not that they are always looking for experienced sources. Even if they are not experienced, they're fine to take those resources and train them, and that will be the advantage to have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What is the duration of the classes, and is it conducted on weekdays and weekends? Yes, I think there are programs that's run on the Saturdays, Sundays, or it is also run on the weekends. There are programs. You can choose a course, a program that you want. No age limit, sir. No upper age limit. No, Kapil. We don't have any CPA basic. There's no such CPA, CPT, and all that, boss. There's something. You just have to write 4 papers. What do you mean if you know what to do? Why don't you unmute here? I'm not able to understand your questions. Sarji, Kapilji, there's nothing called CPT. There's no IPCC. There's no final. You have to just write 4 subjects to get that CPA degree. Only 4 papers. Okay, and 4 papers are business, auditing, regulation, and FAR. That's it. Nothing more. And you will get books for this once you enroll with EduPristine. And once you register for this, you can write these 4 papers. Once you complete 4 papers, you are called a CPA. Okay, so, okay. There's no CPT, there's no IPCC and all that. Okay. We need to prepare for exams and then apply for the exam registration. Yes, naturally, that's the preferred method. Unless or you can do that parallelly. Once you're done with the FAR classes, for example, then you can parallelly immediately apply for the LTS and then prepare for it. Yes, master, Prexa master. How long the course? Sorry, the last question. How long does the course take? It takes about 1 year. Yes, Prexa.
Is there any internship required after I clear my CPA 4 papers?
No. Yeah.
No. Only just I have to clear 4 papers. And,
yes. Yes.
Okay.
And you should have the experience also. The experience is in the form of experience or working in some MNCs or accountant and things like that. There's no articleship as such, but they'll expect you to have some work experience. That's all. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Sabarji.
Sir, can we prepare on our own for the CPA, or we need some backers like जैसे आपने बताया कि backers से prepare कर सकते हैं या फिर self भी prepare कर सकते हैं हम?
Self भी कर सकते हैं जी, मगर it will be difficult. Meaning you need to have some material. Without a material, it's very difficult for you to prepare. I'm very sure on it, 100%. You can definitely. There's no rule that you have to go only with Becker. There's no rule that you have to go only with some institutions. You can go with anybody, or you can study this on your own. But you should know what to study. Yes, but US GAAP, IFRS. Okay. What about auditing? What about business? What about regulations? It's kind of difficult. Okay. Any other questions, people? Kapil, you know what? I'm seriously not able to understand your question. Foundation means CPA basic books, just like we have in CPT. Sarji, you have to excuse me, I don't understand your questions. But what I suggest is you please talk to one of the marketing guys or the EduPristine folks, or I'll ask somebody to call you from EduPristine and speak to you about this. Okay, I see I'm unable to follow you. Foundation means CPA basic books, just like we have in CPT. I don't understand how many times to tell you that there is no such thing. Okay. Or I'm not able to understand your question. I'm sorry. So don't worry, Kapil. I'll ensure that
Suresh, Ajay here again.
Yes. Tell me, Ajay.
Since the exam centers available in India now, but after COVID, what do you think? The centers remains in India, or there will be no more centers?
We do not know. But I think there is definitely CPA institutes must have seen that this is actually helping them to see a lot of people participating. So definitely there is also a lot of lobbying being done by these institutions to keep these centers permanent. So there is an opportunity that this might become a permanent one. But I don't have an answer. Is it going to happen or not? It's beyond anybody's guess. But definitely a lot of efforts being put to keep this centers in India itself.
Sure. Yeah.
Good question. Thank you. Shilpa is asking, is it compulsory to clear all 4 papers within the time span of 18 months? As you told, if not, clear all these papers within the time span, whether we need to enroll again for the same. Within 18 months from the first paper, let's assume that you're completing your auditing paper and from there 18 months starts. Let's assume you don't write your FAR or you fail in FAR. And you first write auditing and then you write business. After 3 months, you complete your wait, I'll just go back to the screen. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So let's assume, Shilpa, you have written your auditing paper, you cleared it. From here, 18 months starts. And you write your business clear it in the January 1st. Okay, this date you clear. And for some reason, you're not able to clear one more paper. So the countdown will start from this again. So you'll have to write the auditing paper once again before this 18 months completes from this date. So it's like a circle. Once you complete, from the time you get your results for the first paper, within 18 months you should complete. In case you don't complete within the 18 months, then this paper has to be rewritten within the end of this 18 months. Hope that answered your question. Okay, guys, good. I'm not seeing any more questions. I wish you guys all the very best. And this is definitely a wonderful profession, guys, and there's no doubt about it. And I, as an individual, as a CA, as a CPA, I myself have seen the benefits of doing both the courses. Huge opportunities are waiting. I know most of the people who are working in multinational companies will see that as an opportunity for you to grow. And I know some of you have just done BCom and MBA, would have found it difficult to grow in your career, in your companies, but doing the CPA kind of a course will always take you to the next level. And I mean it. It definitely works. It definitely will pay off. It's just an investment of 1 year of time and maybe a couple of lakhs or 2.5 lakhs of investment. But all these things can be recovered within a short period of time. Okay. Thank you so much, people. It was nice talking to all of you. I wish you guys all the best, and I wish you guys not only all the best for your courses, but also all the best for your life, and ensure that you always stay healthy and safe. That's more important than these things. Once you're safe and healthy, you can do all these things, and don't give up on your dreams, guys. Just chase your dreams and you can be successful. And EduPristine is a primary institute which offers backup material. So don't give up. If you're planning to do CPA, my humble request, consider only at backup. No other institute. I'm not being paid for all these things. Okay, I'm not going to get the royalty if you guys get registration with backup. No, nothing. But I talk because I know the quality and of the material of various institutions that I've seen, and Becker definitely stands out. It's one of the best. And I was a student of Becker, so I feel proud that I'm still part of Becker. Thank you, guys. All the best. Have a good afternoon. Bye bye.